It's Theme Park Thursday Live with Dillos Diz. Featuring Frank. And Jen.
This is Theme Park Thursday Live with Dillos Diz. She is Jen.
Hello.
And I am Frank, and for the next 30 minutes, we are going to present you 3 topics or subjects that we did not cover on our Theme Park Thursday podcast, which just dropped about an hour ago. We announced when we will be making our journey to Walt Disney World once again. So make sure to check out the podcast that dropped today on all your favorite podcatchers. But we have 3 topics or subjects. All those in the chat will join in, pick the order, comment on the subjects or topics. I almost called them topics. Topics.
That works.
Jen, happy anniversary to you and Mr. Dillo.
Thank you very much. 10 years, whole decade. That's how we roll.
It's a decade. It's also Jen's birthday month, as talked about.
Nope. It's just my anniversary today. It's almost the 4-year-old will be turning 5 on Sunday, so there'll be a change to your program soon. And then we have about 5 or 6 months where they are the 7, 6, and 5-year-olds. Right. Before the next
before the shift happens again.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So always the change in the programs. So good morning to everyone in the chat, and thanks for checking out us on all the things. Ryan, hello. Lewis and Val, hello. Who else is there? I don't know.
Steffers, Lexi. Did we miss anyone?
Cool. Good morning.
Good morning. Dr. Val, did we say Dr. Val? Lewis Val?
I might not have said the doctor portion of that.
Well, show your respect.
Show respect. Holy moly. All right, let's get to the 3 topics or subjects. Jen has no idea. No idea. You know, the scary thing about thinking whether or not you're going to go solo in the morning is like, who's going to do my mic check?
Mic check.
I'll start monologuing and the mic will be off.
Yeah. So behind the scenes, Mama Dillo will be coming over soon. Probably in an hour or 2, so that Mr. Snidillo and I can have a little anniversary lunch. And I was like, my timing's really going to be tight. Let me try to get ready before going live. And then I get a text from Frank, 90 seconds. I'm like, bah! I gotta run. Okay.
You got a minute and a half.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I can't believe you didn't say that. Why did you say 90 seseconds and not a minute and a half?
I didn't want you to think I was just like joking around. Like I wanted you to actually
I'm being serious. You better get on. This isn't a joking matter.
All right, let's get to it. I on Instagram earlier, I had it, I posted out there, like, if you want to take some guess at what the subjects or topics will be. And then I was like, oh my God, are there subjects or topics better than what I picked this morning? So Jen has no idea, but here we go. Topic number 1, because we don't get to talk a lot about this area on Theme Park Thursday, either the podcast or here on this live stream. Typhoon Lagoon came back this week, and then it promptly closed the next day due to weather. So we'll just talk about water parks in general here in the month of January, to think of brighter, sunnier days for all of us, even in Central Florida. Topic number 2. Oh, what was that? I missed you. You slipped in a comment in between.
I figured Steffers is giving you praise, so you have to hear it. Yes.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Oh, thanks, Steffers.
Proud of you.
Trying to be better here in the new year. Hey, we're on the Adventures with Steffers podcast next Wednesday, January the 16th. That's not the right date? January the 12th. I don't know what day it is. January 12th, Wednesday, January 12th. Adventures with Steffers with us, Dillos Diz. Hello. We also give you a plug on the podcast today, Steffers, just so you know.
What can I say except you're welcome?
The topic number 2, we don't like these changes. There were 2 things that kind of just stuck in our craw a little bit this week. One is punches Jen a little bit right in the face. Mm-hmm. The other one punches me a little bit right in the gut. So we'll just talk about them. And again, it's a little bit of a dive into our insanity. That is Theme Park Thursday with Dillos Diz. And then topic number 3. And then topic number 3, who's a Disney freak? Not to be confused with Carlos, aka Disney World Freak, here on YouTube. My friend Charles, who sometimes appears on the Forever 44 Fedora Club, sent me an article last week from Slate.com, and we'll talk about. I'll give the title once we get to the topic. It's a fun article, a fun read we can share together. Pick your topics. It's who's a Disney World freak. We don't like these changes. Typhoon Lagoon is back.
Take your pick. Hello, Lee. Welcome.
Hey, Lee. What's going on?
Take your pick. Place your bets.
Place your bets. 312. 312.
Apparently Jeffers had to work today, so he won't be in attendance. And I said that, if anyone ever can't get out of work, we can write a note. Kind of like an absent note, a doctor's note, whatever you need. We're happy to do that for anybody that attends this chat for your corporate environment.
Yeah, I mean, I was telling our friend Dr. Chaplin, Fixie Dust PhD, I said, I don't think you need to go to that meeting this morning. So, so I see I think people want to hear us rant right out of the gate.
Why?
So we don't like these changes. So two things, you get the reporting sites here where, your blogs, your news, what have you. And two things stuck out to us this week. The first one, I'm going to go with them. I feel like this one has popped up a couple of times and then it goes back. So the Interventions music loop being removed. So they and like one of the headlines was, and I wish I wrote it down to give the proper credit, replaced with like a more just Spotify playlist. I don't understand the whole thing there, but the Interventions music loop that we all love and have grown on all these years, the symbol, the soundtrack to Jen's working life as an operating participant in the mid 2000s, gone forever.
Forever?
Jen, can you give a little example of you humming the tune to the Interventions music loop? So
and then
I feel,
when I worked when I was walking on the beat, it was that one, and then I would walk on the beat out to my car because my shift was over.
Again, a little bit of inside baseball here of what our life was like when we worked in the parks. So I feel like this headline was a thing last year that it's going away because of all the construction and all the things. But yet, if you walk through the land area and a little beyond, you were still getting the music loop. And now they're saying it's gone. It's out of here.
Right.
So, I think the background music, the BGM, as it were, in general, has become a little contentious in the last couple of years. In front of the Great Movie Ride. Oh, I mean, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. We don't like change. They took a lot of that sweeping, classic, golden age of Hollywood music out of that loop. Your Lawrence of Arabia, your Oklahoma, that was what you used to hear as you walked around the nose. If you're talking about the Mickey, the hidden Mickey that was the map of #AlwaysMGM. If you walked around that area, how could you not hear the Lawrence of Arabia theme? How could you not hear the Oklahoma theme? And so, listen, I get that, we have to shift the music a little bit, but there's certain areas of the park that you shouldn't be touching. Right. And whether or not you want to say the Interventions music loop should be bleeding into the land area,
Yes, it should. Lewis, I don't know if you're on the TikTok as much as Dr. Val. Dr. Val might know this sound a little more. There's a sound on the TikTok that goes, "Are you new here?" And that's what I have to say to you. Would we really want everything exactly as it was originally? Yes, of course we would. Goodness. I mean, we accept some changes and we're okay with it when they're done for a purpose, and they're done and it's not change for the sake of change and all of that. But if we had a choice, you keep everything as the OG for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I'm saying. There's certain areas that are just greater for your experience, your sensory overload, what have you. And I point to like the nose. I'm not saying if you want to change the music in Commissary Lane, by all means. I couldn't tell you one tune that was ever in that area.
Fair.
There's certain areas though that are just the senses all go together. And in front of the Great Movie Ride, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is wonderful. Well, it's not the Great Movie Ride; it's Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway now. So maybe the music outside the Great Movie Ride should have changed. No,
Lewis, listen. Yes, but if that's just how Mickey looked always in everything, how would we know any different? We wouldn't think he was weird then. With a comparison, sure. But we wouldn't think it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Mickey's looked weird a lot. Let's be clear.
Hello, Carlos. We were just talking about you.
That's right. Maybe we should do this topic next.
Yeah.
So let's move on and save the. I mean, this is gonna be the end. But while Carlos is here, who's a Disney freak? Carlos is. So I'm gonna share the screen. Get ready, everyone. I'm gonna share my screen.
Can you hear me?
Can you? Right. My friend Charles, as I mentioned, who sometimes is on the Forever 44 Fedora Club, shared this article with me last week. He texted it to me. Help! My spouse assured me she wasn't a Disney freak when we married. That was a psychotic lie. She knows I have zero tolerance policy and she's breaking it. So let's just review together quickly here. Dear Prudence, my first spouse had a thing for Disney, which I hated. Our whole house was covered in Disney stuff. Think 101 Dalmatians, shower curtain, etc., which was tacky and embarrassing. When I met my current spouse, I made my zero tolerance to Disney policy clear. She said, no problem, but confessed that her twin daughters, now in their late 20s, were the Harry Potter generation, and that she and the twins still had minimal nostalgic experiences related to Harry Potter. Fast forward 5 years, and minimal was a psychotic lie. There is a lot of Harry Potter in my life. At least once a month, I catch her reading from one of the Harry Potter books on her Kindle. I overheard her on Zoom with the twins having anguished conversations about what to do about Harry Potter given the author's transphobia. And whenever she visits the twins, they all do some Harry Potter related thing. The most recent was to go to a Harry Potter store. Well, I wonder if that was here in New York City. And my spouse came home with a notebook and pen representing her Hogwarts house. I reminded her that she promised to never bring Disney merch around me. And she goes, Disney didn't own the Harry Potter franchise then. What?
It doesn't now.
Which is splitting hairs at best. She put the merch inside a drawer, our favorite word to use here. Drawer. Where I don't see it, but she won't get rid of it or apologize for buying it. Now she's planning to watch some Harry Potter reunion in the house while Zooming with the twins. Prudence. She has advanced degrees, a high-level job with a great salary, and successful daughters. So I don't know why she needs to cling onto Harry Potter, especially knowing that Disney is a deal breaker for me. To this day, she claims Harry Potter is a minimal part of her life and that she didn't misrepresent. How can I make her see that her Harry Potter thing is actually a significant fixation she needs to outgrow if she wants our marriage to last? Done with Disney. And I love the first line of the response. Mm-hmm. Dear Done with Disney, just for the record, Disney doesn't even own Harry Potter. So I guess if you want to keep this up, you'll need to become a Warner Brothers hater too. But are you serious? Is this real? None of this is affecting you. There are no tacky shower curtains bothering you. You have nothing to complain about. For every hour she spends on her totally harmless hobby, you should be spending an hour finding your own books, movies, and interests, and an hour talking to a therapist about how to become a less intolerant, judgmental person. Better yet, if it really is a deal breaker, leave and let her live in peace and enjoy her life. Love, Prudence. All right. So I was only going to read some of it, but it was just too good to not keep going. So let's remove that. And we could go on a whole tangent about people who don't know what IPs belong to what. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a great one. And then, the second part is, how to negotiate with a spouse who isn't into, and I think a partner, a spouse, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, what have you, about, being okay with your own things. And it always comes down to Disney and Harry Potter. I mean, I'm sure there's people who write similar letters about sports teams.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But
or Star Wars.
Yeah, right. But no, Star Wars is a Disney thing now. So
right.
Yeah, but sports is the big one, right? People's fandoms can consume their lives. So how, Jen, as from your POV, and luckily you are married to someone for 10 years as of
That's
today.
right. I am now an expert because it's been 10 years, and according to Frank, that's it. Boom.
That's it. You have reached a new level. A new level.
So anyone who needs marriage advice, please come to me because I've been doing it for 10 years now. First off, I want to just point out Lexi's comment. I think this is great that you have to bring it up on the first date. Absolutely. Okay, so I agree with Prudence. Thank God for her. And, it's not Disney. She didn't misrepresent because she has no Disney everywhere. Okay, first of all, you, sir, need to dig deep into your past as to why you have a zero tolerance for things that people enjoy. That's number one. Second of all, I feel like, yes, sports teams are the big thing, but I also feel like it's more of a norm. Like, oh, my partner watches football, all season long. And it's, 3 nights a week, and he does fantasy football. He does all this stuff. Sure, people complain about it, but it's also like they accept it because it's a norm. Like, oh, yeah, of course, it's football season. Of course you can do that. Whereas Disney and, even Universal or Harry Potter or anything like that, people always equate that with like, oh, God, are you one of those people? Like, what does that mean, one of those people? And I know what they're talking about. It's the shower curtains and it's the rugs and it's all the things. But like, if you go, like, how do you, I don't know. It's so silly to me. It's silly to me to honestly be with someone and take something like this and blow it that far out of proportion. I mean, and again, there is something inside of you that happened to you in your past, and you have some PTSD and some trauma, I think, to make you that upset to that level where it's like, this is grounds for divorce. Like, what?
Yeah, and I guess we were kind of raised to have, our Papa Dillo is a sports fan, so there's that. But Mama Dillo, again, we draw the line from like the Beatles fandom to Barry Manilow fandom to then she raised kids, and then it was the Backstreet Boys, and then it was Ewan McGregor, especially Moulin Rouge, and then it was there was Kevin
Jersey
Costner
Boys.
in there. Yeah, Kevin Costner was earlier, Jersey Boys, and then so that like. We were grown that it is okay to still continue to have these kind of fandoms. And I don't know what happens. And I mean, I think it all comes in upbringing, but that you can no longer continue to like the things that you liked when you were younger, or that you can't then start to like things that remain, like if you don't get into Harry Potter until you're an adult, that's okay. Let the books sweep you up like something that you remember from your childhood, like Star Wars. Like you were a Star Wars fan when you were a kid. Maybe you stopped being a Star Wars fan, but then you read the Harry Potter books to your children, and you became a huge Harry Potter fan in that world because you remember the world of Star Wars. That's okay.
Yep.
You got some comments there? Or,
no, I'm laughing at Lexi's comment. I'll put it up briefly. This is a family show, Lexi. It's so true though, but it's I have seen this. If you work in a corporate environment or you just travel a lot, where you come in contact with various people, you got the people who like grew up in the same neighborhood as you and are still there to this day, or you have people that have traveled the world or whatever. People have their own things, but I have come across many people who are like, oh, you watch TV? I don't have time for TV. Okay, like that doesn't make me bad for watching TV. Or, oh, you're really into those books? That's silly. Whatever it is, people also, especially in the days of social media, find the need to comment on everything else everyone else is doing. And it's like, it's silly. And Lexi made a point too, like, So I'm insanely happy finding this community and all this, and you have a problem with that. And it's true. Like this is part of my happiness. Why are you invading that? And also for this woman who is sharing this love of Harry Potter with her daughters and Zooming, talking about books, really? Is that really affecting that much of your life? Get out of here.
I know that you briefly put up Lexi's comment, but I think you should see Lee's response to Lexi quickly. And
exactly. So funny.
All right, final topic here before we take it over to DillosDizResorts.com. Your escape to Disney nostalgia. Really, it's just your escape to nostalgia, pop culture, movies, TV. We don't know what's going to happen.
We're expanding in 2022.
DillosDizResort.com. Patreon membership levels beginning as low as $1 per month. And that $1, of course, gets you into our very popular one-channel Discord. Everyone talks about the one-channel Discord.
Yes.
Everyone's talking about it. Typhoon Lagoon is back. We think it opened on the 2nd. It closed on the 3rd. Can we just, I know Blizzard Beach, it did. I know Steffers, what's the one called over at Volcano Bay? Thank you. I answered my own question. Steffers, don't get mad at me. Water parks in general, we enjoyed them when we were kids. I would say, though, it really just stayed with Disney water parks because, it was in the Disney bubble.
Yeah.
Water attractions or even public pools, maybe. We're kind of like a little, what would you say? Ski-vats is what
ski-vats. A little bit ski-vats.
So, I have found it more challenging these days to look at posts, hear about posts, people visiting, and no judgment, no negativity about it. But I personally struggle because it's about me and I'm taking ownership and responsibility for that.
It's 2022, everyone. See, Frank, he's just internalizing.
That I would find it very, very, very difficult. I've been on an airplane. I've been in the theme parks. I would find it very challenging to go to a water park in this era based on the current conditions.
Yeah. I'm also wondering why they chose to open now. Why? Well,
Blizzard is under its usual annual maintenance, so they went that way, I guess, is the primary.
And I know it's not, freezing down there every day or anything. I know the temperatures can kind of range. When we were there a few years ago, this week in January, it was 30 degrees every day, and we were completely unprepared for that and freezing. And I think the water parks were obviously closed at that point. So I find it interesting that if you're going to reopen it, why take the state of the world away from it? Why do it now anyway? But I guess it is easy to then close it and go, weather. So I don't know. But yeah, I feel like, how many times do you think we even went to the water parks?
I think, as we're really focusing from when it took a couple of years for us to go to Typhoon Lagoon, right? I would say, but there was probably a stretch in that 93 to 99 range that we probably went to one of them once a year. And I think, Papa Dillo had a secret, like he was like, I got to go on Summit Plummet.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So that was part of the drive behind that. That's right. I think we talked to Carlos about this, that he's never been to a water park, period. Yeah. And I get in life. But yeah, it's something. It's an interesting thing. I don't mind, because I go, it's the chlorine, which has taken on a whole new turn in the past 12 months about chlorine and bleach and all the things. So I just it's an interesting thing to me of, like, again, picking and choosing where. And I think besides the Blizzard Beach maintenance, additionally, it's about, we got to put some people in these crowds somewhere else during the day. Yeah, and it's another option. So there is that. But in general, like, it's gonna be a while before I feel like I'm in a water park. It's gonna be a long time. Granted, I have a 5-year-old, so it's gonna be when she's a little older anyway. Yeah. And that has a lot to do with it. But in my head, I'm like, I don't know. We have the debate with the cruise ship, which is funny because if you listen to Theme Park Thursday, the podcast today, you'll find out why it's funny. But, the cruise ship, you kind of take that go around during this period of time because, they were already out with the hand sanitizing before everything started in March.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it's a challenging thing. And Jen has never been on Summit Plummet or Humunga Cowabunga, but maybe because she's turning 40 this month, that we should put that on a list of things to do at age 40. No?
Never happening. Yeah, I agree though with the going back to your point about the Disney bubble, that there was something about like, okay, well, if we're going to do a water park, this is a place to do it. I will say that about 5.5 years ago, we went to Sesame Place and we brought the 7-year-old, who at the time was one or two, maybe two at the time.
Yeah.
And they have they don't have like a water park, but they have a water area. So they have a lazy river and they have a splash pad and all that. And we did mostly like the splash pad and just the sprinklers going and all that. And this was again 5.5 years ago. And I'm like, I'm skeeved out. But it's really hot and this is fun. And he's having fun with all the water shooting up and all this kind of stuff. And I think we did the lazy river maybe, but I was like, there's a part of me that questions it because I feel like I'd be like, I don't want to do the lazy river here, which sounds snotty, but it's not in the Disney bubble. So there's something about it for me. I don't know.
No, totally admitting the Disney bubble, totally admitting like I'm an old man now. So I look at that like, they clean things way better back then.
Yeah.
You're much better about the cleaning and the
Disney.
whole thing. Yeah. So there's all of those things. But we're coming up on the end of our 30 minutes here. So we're going to be taking it over to DillosDizResort.com, our Patreon page, where you can join us at the balcony level and the quiet pool level, I believe, and join us for a little post-show chat at DillosDizResort.com. Of course, we do talk a lot today about Jen's birthday month on Theme Park Thursday, the podcast. You can send all your wonderful cards and well wishes and thoughts and prayers to us at our P.O. Box 55, Gerard Street, number 987, Huntington, New York, 11743.
Feel free to save the postage, everybody. It's cool.
And we'll be back here on our YouTube channel next week, Theme Park Thursday Live. Feel free to tell your friends about the live, to join the chat, to do the thing. Until that time, she's Jen and I'm Frank. Bye-bye.
Deuces.
And the